They generate income through these community renewable projects, and that income is then fed back into the community through different other projects, just updating school buildings or updating your community centers or such. So that is the whole idea of a community renewable energy group.
Can it be implemented in India, and how can it be implemented in India? That's it.
Yeah, sure. This is very possible, very much to implement in India. What you need is a community leader here to guide them.
So we have Netra over here. You have qualified engineering from UK?
Engineering management from UK, yes.
Okay, wonderful, very nice. So can you tell me about this community solar project?
Community solar projects or community renewable energy in general in the UK, it's community groups who are heavily active in renewable energy projects, from the funding, from arranging funding for the projects, from managing the projects, and from finding support for regulations and legal, I would say, regulations that they have to follow, finding support for those as well. They'll have to do within the group itself. And the idea is that they generate income through these community renewable projects, and that income is then fed back into the community through different other projects, just updating school buildings or updating your community centers or such. So that is the whole idea of a community renewable energy group in the UK.
Alright, so Netra, we have in India, in the Electricity Act, we have a provision where resident welfare associations or the village panchayats can have their own community solar. And when they have their own community solar, there are certain advantages given to them. So for example, they don't have to pay cross subsidy surcharge, they don't have to pay additional surcharge, they will have open access rights. So for example, if in a village there is a solar in between, or maybe in a village there is no place for solar plant, and you have a solar 500 meters behind the village or some other places, then the government will provide open access as a right. But however, we don't see a lot of community projects in India. So this is the purpose of discussing with you. So do you have any idea how many community projects are there in UK? Is it
Yearly, yes, there might be more than 300 groups that register. There is Community Energy England, who manages the information regarding the knowledge bank regarding community renewable energy. So yearly there are 300 plus groups that register. But I must say that they're not only involved in generation, they are involved in community energy in the sense that any activity that uses renewable energy will be considered as a community energy group. So if you have a water heating plant that uses renewable energy, that is also a community energy group.
Okay. So in the community energy, one is solar, second is water heating, and any other kind of projects?
So not the renewable source can be one way to bifurcate things, and then what you're doing with the source is one way to bifurcate things. So generation, water heating, the activities that you're taking from the community, the renewable source, that is one way to divide it. And then your source itself, your wind energy, solar energy, forgot the name for it, bioenergy.
Okay.
Those things would come in one group. So there can be a mix and match. You could use solar for water heating, you could use solar for generation, you could use wind for generation. Mostly, yeah, wind is more into the generation part. Then biogas again you can use for water heating. It's more popular.
Okay, who funds these projects? Is it like the community collectively is funding this project, or they are taking some role?
Yes. So there are many different ways how these projects are funded. One is I'm not sure about the UK in general, but Scotland within UK and Wales within there, their governments have funds allocated for community energy groups.
So is it a grant from the government?
Yeah, they'll have grants from the government for these groups. The EU also has certain grants specifically just for community energy groups as well.
So one aspect is you can have a grant from the government, state
Yes.
government and central government. We can encourage the governments to have grants in India also
Yes.
for community projects.
Other than that, there's crowdfunding. There's also, as I said, it's a community project, right? So the community itself, they become equity owners for the project. So they invest into the project and they have their equity shares in
All
the
right.
project.
So can you talk about the financial model? So once we have a grant and we have set up a solar plant or a water heating system or any other XYZ plant, how do we run operation and maintenance?
Yes, so as I said, these are non-profit organizations. So within your operation and maintenance, there are different kinds of you can say models people work on. One is a public-private partnerships kind of model. If you can partner with a bigger group, a bigger company that has expertise in the sector, that would be the most ideal way to go for it, because that would bring their expertise into the picture. But if you want to do it completely as a community, then I would say it would require a lot of your community members to invest their own skills, volunteer their own skills for the different aspects of the project. So be it legal, be it operation and maintenance, so be it operation of the solar plant, or be it just being the management aspect of it, talking to people, getting DNOs to getting DNO approvals, those kind of things, those have to be volunteered by the members.
Okay, all right. That's wonderful. So they generate certain additional funds also because of these projects. Is this the case?
Yes. So earlier the projects were not made with the sense of having a profit generation mindset. But now, since the subsidies within UK, the national government subsidies have been reduced a lot. There are, again, as I said, there are grants and stuff from Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. They have grants, but the subsidies have been lowered a lot. So now they do want to move to profit generation. So there are profit generation models, but I'll have to go into detail for that. There are 3 different kind of financial models that
cooperative banking is one of them, and private investors are also
there. But the exact financial models, that was a part of my report, but I'm not very I can't recall it as
the best model is
Can you come closer?
I'll come. The best model is, I think, cooperative banking model, where every one of the member of the society can contribute in a smaller manner, and they can manage their own fund. They're not dependent, and then cooperative bank will grow. And it's just not about the renewable energy. As a society, they will grow, have different infrastructures.
This is also an aspect, like if you form a community energy group, then it's not just for renewable energy. Then you can invest, those same members can then invest their time and skill for different other challenges that are faced also. So like
new technology,
bringing telecom services to remote areas and stuff like that.
Basically, smart community you can build, starting with your renewable, and you can grow and you can build.
That's brilliant.
And
smart RWA, smart village panchayat,
true.
smart gram
with low carbon emission and all.
But this does require for people to really volunteer their time and efforts and their skills into the project. Just bringing in money would never work for projects. Yeah.
So what kind of challenges, to top 2-3 challenges which you have faced, the community solar or community groups have faced in UK?
So one is it's a boon and a bane, the voluntary aspect. Since it's based on voluntary nature of work, it might happen a lot of the times people cannot, their own life priorities may change or something else might come up. So the voluntary aspect of it may affect the project timelines as well, because there's people who are working on the project actively, but then they have to move out. So that voluntary aspect, they're not bounded by a job or anything for this particular project, right? So the voluntary aspect of things, and just motivating people to actually participate into it, is also like a challenge. Then second would be going through the as a community group, going to professional, more standardized industries, because you interact with DNOs, you interact with renewable energy suppliers.
What is DNO?
Distribution network operators. So you interact
It is
with
like Discom of
Yes, yeah.
India,
Almost.
distribution, electricity distribution company. It is DNO.
these are community groups. These are groups coming together. They're not very professionally organized, but they're working in a sector that is very standardized. So there is a gap over how things are being done. So adapting to the standard procedures of each and every, you can say, entities that they interact with is a challenge that they face, and it also affects the faith that these standardized institutions have on the community group as well. Like if there's a group of 5 members going to a big DNO to tell them that, so it affects the faith that they have on this group as a reliable
They think it's a small scale business.
yeah, sort of.
Actually,
Okay, so I have a last question
Yeah.
for Madam.
Yeah.
So can it be implemented in India, and how can it be implemented in India? That's it.
yeah, sure. This is very possible, very much to implement in India. What you need is a community leader here to guide them. It's mentoring basically, social mentoring on the technical background, on the financial background. Without having such leaders and mentors in the society, this project will not work. Otherwise, everything is available in India. We have a lot of resources, technology, everything is there. So, as a group, we have to form panel and then get to the grassroots and implement it. And I think some projects I have seen in Uttarakhand on the small hills, a couple has come and they motivated whole person from the village, and they have rooftop, and now they are having a smart kind of it's a smart working, you say everything. What I'm talking, community energy, you can see in Uttarakhand. I have seen a video, and so it's possible. It's what you need, the motivation, and finance is always there. It's not a big deal.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you both of you, and thank you for joining in.